Hey guys, Pretzelman 945 here. Welcome back to another video. Um, in today's video, I am going to be talking about my thoughts slash reviewing the second season of Squid Game, which came out on Thursday, and I finished the last couple episodes yesterday. Um, also, excuse me for my voice. I've been I'm still in the process of getting over the flu, which I've had for the past couple of days. Um, uh, so yeah, I figure I should start with, I guess, my thoughts on the first season of Squid Game, which came out back in 2021, long time ago now. Um, and at the time, I wasn't really recording as many videos. I don't know. That was a weird time where I didn't record as much, and then I I I I watched it and I didn't think to make a video about it at the time, basically. But I thought it was a very, very, very good, like, individual season of television. If I'm thinking about a number ranking, I would probably give the first season of Squid Game, even though I haven't rewatched it since then. Based on my memory, I would probably give it like a 9 out of 10. Um, Uh, I think that like the way the concept worked was just really really fucking interesting. And I think the way it worked in an isolated thing was what made it extremely compelling television. Now, the second season I think is pretty good, but I don't think it's as good as the first season. And I think that is for a couple, like, I think in a general description, I think some of the directions that the plot goes, uh, kind of feel a little bit aimless, and the pacing, uh, I feel like it doesn't really it kind of takes away from the immersion a little bit. Um, now, um, uh, I think, like I said, the biggest issue with this, uh, season of Squid Game is the fact that it didn't, I don't feel like there was a clear direction on where they wanted to go with the plot and subsequently the pacing of it. Because it like the first two episodes out of seven, mind you, it's even less than the first season, which had nine. It kind of was like setting up this thing where they're trying to hunt down the recruiter to like get some ammo and like shut down the games for good. Um, And I'm like, and I was like, okay, and I'm thinking, okay, this is a logical follow-up from the first season, and it fits in line with Song Gi-hun's character. Um, and then they don't really get anywhere with that, and then it just kind of goes, and then it goes into another round of the games again. And so I'm thinking, okay, I'm not complaining about this, but the overall biggest issue here is that Um, there is a lack, I think, of compelling connectivity between these two plot lines, and as such, it kind of breaks the immersion a little bit and doesn't make it flow together as well. Um, and and then this is further compounded by the fact that um they seem to still want to pursue this plot line, and so they have random cutaways to their thing on the boat where they're searching for the island. The problem with this is the fact that there is no clear balance struck between um how much time they put in this second round of the games and then their focus on this other plot line of finding the island. Um, so as a result, the two plot lines end up conflicting with each other, and and the pacing is messed up as a result. Um, that being said, before I bring up my other big issue about the ending of it, I do feel like I want to get in some positives though. I think the decision to bring the front man in as a player was absolutely genius. I think that I can't even, he was by far the most compelling character this season. And I think what this season had lacked compared to the first in terms of more individual, interesting character relationships, he made up for by singularly being such an interesting character to follow and to learn more about. Because it's not like they expressly state it, but it's also made kind of extremely obvious. Like if you didn't pick up on that, then I'm sorry, but you must be an extremely unobservant person because there are multiple shots in flashbacks and where he shows his mask off, where his face is the exact same as the one that player one has the entire time. So if you didn't pick up on that, then I think you're probably just stupid. And I hate to be so generalizing, but they made it like really obvious, which is not a bad thing. I don't think it's a type of thing that should have been like subtle or difficult to figure out because you know this one side of him, and then seeing this various actions, and then like how he knows all these things. Obviously, he's ahead of the game. So seeing these things that he knows kind of very slowly revealed, and then kind of like getting a really like deep psychological look into his actions and his ideals is fascinating. And I really hope that the final season, coming out sometime in 2025, uh, I really hope that they find a way to really give him a very good motivation to really like cap that off. Um, and once again, I do really have to mention that like in terms of the actual games parts, like uh just like the first season, when this show is focusing on the games part, and that's the only thing it's focusing on, it is a masterclass in television because the way that certain scenes, the way that the tension builds up, combined with the music and the character pairings and relationships, the way that those climax in mix with the tension in certain scenes, and the way that just leaves you in suspense and massive amounts of emotion is just absolute masterclass. I think that that quality in terms of like when it focuses on the games portion is just as well done as the first season, and it's by far the best element of this show overall. Um, and it's honestly what made it's honestly, like I said, the biggest reason of why the first season was so good is because it was this fascinating, just idea that they explored to the full extent of it using this method of building up tension in a scene, and that those elements that are carried over from the first season here are fantastic. Um, Now my other kind of big issue with it is, again, going back to the pacing, is I like seriously feel like the direction that it was going, I feel like it should have been finished in the second season. Like in this season. I think this should have been the second and final season. I think the decision to make a final season makes the entirety of the show feel extremely unnecessarily dragged out, and I feel like they could have accomplished everything that they need to in the end by just adding like making it like 9 or 10 episodes like the first season was, instead of making it seven and then having a third final season. I don't know why, but to me, it really strikes it as if they are um really dragging it out unnecessarily. Um, um, okay, sorry about the cut. I had to get some water. Okay, as I was saying, um, the decision to make it into a final season as opposed to extra episodes and not making this second season the final one, it feels like they are really, really dragging it out, and I think it severely hurt the impact of the final episode because it didn't really feel like the cliffhanger was as meaningful. Um, but in spite of some pacing and direction issues, um, I gotta say, I did quite enjoy the second season of Squid Game, but I do not think it was as good as the first season. Um, but yeah, that is gonna do it for this quick little review video. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you later. Bye.